Everybody, it's Steph from the High Moon Podcast, and I want to have a real discussion about Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum. Because there's a real debate on who is the better player on the team, right? Some people believe it's Jayson Tatum. Some people, like myself, believe it's Jaylen Brown. But, I want to take it to a different angle that most people on TV will not want to talk about if they have barely touched on it. And I'm going to get to it in a little bit. But first, look, Jayson Tatum came out there during Team USA training saying that, he's happy that he has won a championship. You can't deny that. Nobody can't take it away from him. He's earned it, deserves that championship, right? But he also mentions that there's still going to be a debate to be had about just overall him as a player within the league and also with him on his team. That brings me to the debate they had on Undisputed today between Skip Bayless, Keyshawn, and Rachel Nichols, right? Skip Bayless takes a point that I rarely agree with Skip Bayless, right? But in this case, I do agree with him. But when I explain why I agree with him, I feel like they dance around this subject and they're not going to touch it. And it's the issue of colorism, yes. With Jaylen Brown being darker skinned and Jayson Tatum being light skinned, right? Now I know it sounds triggering, but after I play the clip that Skip has to say on why he likes Jaylen Brown better than Jayson Tatum, I will explain my angle and I'll get back to you guys.
Maybe you could say they're co-Batman.
Whatever you want to call it. You want to call it co-Batman, call it co-Batman.
Co-Batman.
I've never seen a show with two Batmans, though.
Okay, I haven't either.
I've seen a lot of NBA finals with two Batmans on one team, though.
Okay,
so.
You have. And it's hard for me to say Jayson Tatum's a Robin because he's not a Robin. But the other guy is really good in different ways because the other guy is explosively athletic in ways I don't think Jayson Tatum is. In the end, I'm talking about explosive athleticism with fire in belly. Where I look at Jaylen Brown's face and I say, he scares me because he is a cold-blooded killer. And I don't know that Jayson has quite that stuff operating in him, that kind of fire burning deep down inside him. Nothing again. It's just how you're born. You either have it, you're either Keyshawn or you're not Keyshawn. And I think you see more of yourself in Jaylen Brown than you see in Jayson Tatum.
Jaylen Brown
edgy is a good word for it.
It's not that.
So you heard what Skip Bayless had to say about Jaylen Brown, right? He talks about his athleticism, right? He does more things athletically better than Jayson Tatum, right? He says that when he looks at Jaylen Brown, right, Jaylen Brown strikes fear in him, right? All these euphemisms. And my only conclusion, or part of my conclusion, is that, look, Jaylen Brown's dark skinned. He plays at a level of ferociousness, aggressiveness when he plays, right? And, you hear like with light-skinned players are soft, right? You heard this with Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. Are they soft and stuff like that, right? I feel like there's a lot of that at play. Not that is what they're going for, or that's their thought, but it could be something they're subconsciously thinking that they're not aware of, right? I mean, you have Jayson Tatum, this light-skinned dude who's supposed to be the face of the league. He was a top pick at Duke. Then you got, Jaylen Brown. I believe, he was there first, so he gets his super max and everything. Dark-skinned brother. You have the basically polar opposite type of players, but they're very, very good. And for me, look, I don't disagree with Skip, though. That's the thing, right? I believe that Jaylen Brown is that dog, right? Jaylen Brown averaged, 23 points or something like that. Jayson Tatum averaged almost 27 or something like that. So, they are very comparable, but Jaylen Brown has had a lot of clutch moments in the regular season and in the playoffs, critical, and his defensive prowess has been great. So, I understand Jayson Tatum may feel some type of way, or I think it's look, people on the outside are going to have this debate, right? Maybe they can't win without each other, but I definitely feel Jayson Tatum can definitely not win without Jaylen Brown. I may be in the small minority in that, but I do think there is a level of colorism. Jaylen Brown, same skin complexion as Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's aggressive, plays with an edge. Keyshawn said he plays with an edge. What is that edge? What is the edge that he plays with that Jayson Tatum doesn't play with, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I feel like it's just everybody's dancing around it. I know it can be a very uncomfortable subject to talk about, if there's any level of colorism involved. And me personally, I think so. The darker player, the more athletic player, right? The absolute beast on the court, right? Not to call Jaylen Brown a beast, because Jaylen Brown is very smart. I believe he worked or intern at NASA, everything, right? Went to Cal, so it's not just what he does on the court that makes Jaylen Brown awesome, but also what he does outside the court and his high intellect and intelligence. And I was rocking with Jaylen Brown in his defense of Kyrie early on, where I felt the league and the Nets was doing Kyrie dirty. So, Jaylen Brown is a great overall person, in my opinion, on and off the court. Not saying that Jayson Tatum isn't, but when we talk about on the court and you talk about and Skip talk about striking fear, right? That's what what would it be, right? You got this light-skinned Jayson Tatum, he don't strike fear in nobody. Maybe at times his game does, but when he talks about, you look at Jaylen Brown, he's built, he's stout, he is definitely the most athletic player on the team, you know what I'm saying? So I agree with Skip, but I think there is a level of subconscious colorism being applied that they're kind of dancing around that. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all this, man. I know some of y'all may think it's a stretch. I don't think it's a stretch. I just think it's a different angle to talk about. I think both players are great. I think they complement each other very well. And I don't think it's an issue if you feel one player is better than the other. Like I said, think Jaylen Brown is the best player on the Boston Celtics. He won Finals MVP, won the Eastern Conference Finals. I've always liked Jaylen Brown for a very long time. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Thanks for watching this vid. Please leave me your thoughts. Please like, subscribe. I'm out.